So, how we feeling, y'all? This new moon is probably a little overwhelming for some people out there. You know what I'm saying? It might be a little enlightening and overwhelming, and some people may have anxiety issues or feel like they're having panic attacks. Sleep has been a constant want, but the quality of sleep has been more of just of a need. You know what I'm saying? Is what I feel with this space, man. What was really interesting is me and my wife were talking, and we noticed how Chiron on the 16th, Chiron hit the sun.
It just went to a gazebo.
And then after Chiron hit the sun the next day, which was yesterday, the 17th, it hit the moon. And I was like, oh shit, double Chiron, look at that. And it hit the sun and the moon. So there's a lot of emotional value that might be coming up in people's heads right now. Systematic forms of control, manipulation of the self, dude. Because there's a lot of this stuff inside of yourself that, one second. There's a lot of stuff inside of yourself of emotional value that may need reasoning, may need understanding, or may need kind of like a wisdom, or just kind of like sitting with it, meditating upon it, and allowing yourself to kind of like feel yourselves through without having to overreact or overrespond. Because a lot of things, and this is what I feel right now, fam. I feel like it almost feels like there's fuckery in the air. You know what I'm saying? It almost feels like you're your own worst enemy type of energy, where there's like maybe whispers, or you thinking that you're not good enough, or not being able to accomplish something, or overwhelming yourself on purpose, feeling like there's a lot of things for you to do, and you just can't finish them all at once or anything like that. I feel like those things are literally coming up in people's experiences right now. And that's the availability to have wisdom, is what Spirit is saying, to open up, to understand that you are the knowledge, you are also the wisdom, but you have to tap into it. So you have to tap in yourself. And that internal work is really important right now for people. It's important for people to, kind of like realize what's happening to them if they are feeling these things, if they are having these suggestions or these things in their head or their mind or in other people are coming up. It's just something to pay attention to all around you, because these things are happening. You know what I'm saying? And the beauty of the message is that this is part of that, you becoming the leader in your life, the navigator, the narrator, the creator, that you stepping up into your highest good, allowing yourself to feel more of a rhythm or in sync. Coherence is also coming up for people right now. For some people, it almost feels like you're levitating at times, possibly even hallucinating at times. You're having these whiffs or these emergences of energy that are kind of dumbfounding you in one way or another, or have you second guessing yourself, or questioning, possibly even being confused here. Understand that this is part of the optimism, is what Spirit is saying, because this is all good things are happening here, but we might be perceiving this as something negative. We might be seeing this as something that is condescending or very sarcastic. And these are kind of like the opposites. Everything that was mentioned here just now is kind of like the opposites of what we're actually supposed to be focusing on or feeling or sensing, right? Because where there's one verbiage, there's also another. So let's say that indeed all these things are actually happening in your life. Well, the opposite is also present, and it's also important for us to understand that the opposite is present in the moment. And the more centered and balanced or aligned we become with that very understanding, the more we become a part of the ladder, because we're not vibrating at that frequency anymore, because now we're actually paying attention to the option that we have. And there's 3 doors, is what Spirit just said. And you can walk in one, but there's one that you're going to walk out immediately, because you don't want to be there, right? And that's the past. Nobody wants to be there, in a sense, unless there's something there of value, right? And we've said this before. And the Tower card that comes out, you know what I'm saying? This is sudden change. This is swift movement. This is sudden intensity. This is something's happening where we're going to realize these things that are happening in our lives that are condescending, that are sarcastic, that are pessimistic, or possibly even laziness, lethargy, complacency. You know what I'm saying? These emotions are these toxic emotions, or these emotions that are actually helping us come out of survival mode because we can't latch on to them anymore. We're no longer codependent on those things, or the dependence of those feelings or those emotions is actually waning away. So a lot of people feel like they're disconnecting somehow, like everything is silent, like I don't know what the fuck is going on, like I don't feel like myself right now is what I'm hearing. This is that disconnect. This is that very understanding that God not only is confirmation, but it is being confirmed in this moment that if you are somehow sensing any of these things or feeling this way, these things are actually happening to you. And paying attention to the things that are happening to you right now, or the thoughts that are coming up, or the people that are coming up, or the emotions that are coming up, is because you're really sensitive to what's being shown to you right now. And paying attention is really important, right? This is how the universe calls to you. This is how the divine reaches to you. Okay, and it's important, these things are something to understand, how the divine communicates with us, to understand that we are part of a higher self, a higher consciousness, or a higher awareness. And the reasons for that are something that you're going to explore. You know what I'm saying? These things will be explained the more time that you focus on them, as you honor your practice and to be of service somehow, not only to yourself, but others, right? And this is the purpose of the divine being, right? This is sovereignty. This is understanding your divinity. This is understanding self-control and what it actually means. Because there's no form of control that's here on this earth that could keep you from being your greatest, highest self, okay? And I think a lot of people needed to understand that, because placing limitations and believing those things to exist actually is the very limiting factor above all else, right? Because beyond the emotion, consciously or subconsciously or unconsciously, you are repeating this in the background because you're vibrating at that frequency, letting the universe know that you're not ready to take the next step. Right? But there is acknowledgement in the moment, is what Spirit just said. And the acknowledgement is also within you, which is calling to you, which is unconditional, uncontrollable. And it's happening right here. So, it's... They show me the Devil card again, and they show me the apple. This is wisdom. This is knowledge. This is how we use these things to become more connected with ourselves and become more self-aware of what's happening around us right now, because there's a whole paradigm change going on right now in the background that not a lot of people are aware of. But we see that things are getting uglier, which also means, like we said before, that things are getting better. What are you looking at? You know what I'm saying? And it's not a deductive, it might be a deductive process for people, but it's a yes or no. What are you looking at? What is it that you're focusing on? Where are your intentions? Where's your heartfelt passion? What is it that you're driving? What is the moving force in your life that creates where you're at right now? And what type of ability to control that with the knowledge or the wisdom that you have? What type of ability to control that do you have right now, when it seems like everything is out of control for some? You know what I'm saying? We don't necessarily reflect on these type of questions, but this energy demands it, right? And you know that by the way it makes you feel, the way it makes you move, the way it makes you think, the way it makes you go outside of yourself, the way it feels like you're peeling your skin off. You know what I'm saying? There's many ways to look at this, right? But sooner or later, you have to acknowledge the fact that you have to come to terms with yourself and how you feel about these things. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't hold on to negative behavior. You don't own anything. And these emotions are stuck somewhere where they don't belong, and that's why the discomfort is there. You know what I'm saying? We have to look beyond the reasoning as to why we put it there in the first place and observe it with the awareness that we have right now that is being given to us, to see that we are no longer these things or these people, right? We have overcome a great many things to be here right now to have this conversation. Okay, and it doesn't even seem like, it could seem minuscule, like I haven't really done shit with my life. Well, fuck, you have. You lived it. You know what I'm saying? Where are you at? What are you looking at? Right? Here we go again. Right? This is the deductive process that we're looking at right now with this energy that is giving us the opportunity to see something of wisdom and right instead of wrong, or a perceived emotional value towards a mistake of the past that somebody or yourself did to yourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's come to terms with that, right? Because when you release that, you take the backpack that you've been wearing for God knows a long time, and you put it down and you set yourself free from it and you allow the momentum to carry you where it's meant to be, because you're basically taking what no longer serves you, what's weighing you down, what's keeping you from your highest dreams or goals or ambitions or what it is that you're meant to succeed in, right? And you're keeping them in that bag with everything else where it doesn't belong. You know what I'm saying? You get to take that momentum and go forward with it, right? And this is what we're talking about here. This is that Tyra moment. This is that spiritual clarity that people always look for, but never really find it because they don't know what they're looking at, right? And here we are, the master of the emotions, the master of the energy and motions, the alchemy, the way that we move energy, the energetic awareness of the body and what we are and what is being told to us. That is unfolding right now for a lot of people. Right? And you can tell that because you're sensing it. So therefore you are blossoming or becoming into something more, right? The change is now, right? You know it because you can feel it and it's talking to you and it's telling you something on a consistent basis. And the only thing that we have to do is pay more attention to it. You know what I'm saying? Because what we focus on, we allow to exist. If we continue to focus on the past, then that's all that will ever be present. If we focus on the now, then we can see the future and create it. You know? Like, this is empowerment, fam. This is the awareness and the fire and the clarity that Gemini brings. You know what I'm saying? That this Taurus energy and stability and practicality, that some common sense shit is going to hit us over the head here soon. If it's not happening right now with what we're saying, right? Because all paths lead to the one, and it doesn't matter how long it takes you to get there. So you understand that patience is a practice. It's part of who you are, because you know that everything is a process. And this didn't necessarily take just one lifetime to come to this culmination. It took many more, right? And that's the honoring the spirit within, or enhancing the perspective of the spirit that you are, knowing that this is not just one life for you. This is many happening simultaneously in one way or another, because you're here now being the representative of it. You know what I'm saying? Honor your ancestors, where you came from, the ones who walked before you. Because the ones who walked before you are not just the old people that you think have died a little while ago. You know what I'm saying? This has been happening for generations upon generations, and all paths of those generations also lead to a single generation, which is all of the one, of God. Okay? Creator, source. Okay? I've said enough. You know what I'm saying? It all comes from the same place. And this deductive process helps you understand how that is motivating your life in one way or another, because this is time to get on board. It's time to figure these things out. It's time to actually look at these things. And it almost feels for some that it's the only thing that they have the ability to look at. And it's very uncomforting at times. You know what I'm saying? But that's what this is. Major shift, major cycle ending, major transformation. It's all happening right now. There's no finger to point. God is saying, hey, look at you. Look at you. Look at you. Hey, I'm you. Look at you. Tell me what you see right now. Do you see? What is it that you see? You know, because I am here. You can feel it. You can feel me because I am thee. You know what I'm saying? Dude, there isn't really a separation of anything. It is our beauty of understanding that allows us to see that. But the willingness to do it, to entrain it, to live it, okay? That's on the table right now. And for some, it's on the chopping block of whether they want to continue to try the spiritual path or not. Because the severity of the matter is what Spirit is saying. The severity of the matter is of the utmost importance to those who are meant to rise and step into their divine presence. So you know what I'm saying? There's a lot on the table here, fam, that is of worth in one way or another. And it's calling to you, you know? And we have to humbly honor that in order to embrace it and understand that we're going on a journey that is showing us all our limitations and the lack of understanding that they're not. In other words, it shows you who you really are and what you truly are meant to believe in versus the beliefs that you had before the divine caught you and said, come here. Let me show you the way. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what we're all here for. This is why we do this. You know what I'm saying? There's no mirrors here. There's no masks here. You know what I'm saying? This is authentic and about as fucking practical or as stable as you can fucking find right now, because everybody has a fucking opinion on the matter, right? And a lot of you are tired of being misled, right? So lead yourself. This is the way. You know what I'm saying? See through the illusion, because the illusion is the face that you wear right now, okay? Because it's not yours. You know what I'm saying? But these are the faces that we wear right here, right now, to better understand ourselves so we could become the more, right? You know, we're not, this isn't a sales pitch, okay? Look at the astrology. Feel the way that you're feeling right now. Look at the things that you're actually going through and see how it aligns with anything that we said in this message. If not, resonates with you deeply right here and now, okay? You know what I'm saying? You could say that all you want, sir. But I can tell you that I am no teacher. I'm a steward of the divine. So therefore, you claim the divine to be your teacher, but a false one. You know, there's nothing else I can say there to you, sir. You know, safe travels. Many blessings on your way, sir. You know, but these things are happening right now. It's in the astrology. It's in the energy, fam. It's coming out in the cards. There is nothing here. There is nothing here that says that you cannot overcome whatever it is that you're, whatever challenges that you're facing right now. And the only thing that it requires is your belief. And that's real talk. You know what I'm saying? That's real talk. And here we go with another card. It's like, what do you want to do? This is judgment. But you're judging you. What are you going to do? You know? And they're using references to the divine mirror, but they're also showing me the hand of God here. You know what I'm saying? On this judgment card. Because this is divinely led. This is the divine reflection that we're all looking at right now in one way or another. Because the universe is giving us exactly what we think about ourselves in the moment. And we become aware of it when we start talking about it, right? Now, somehow, your physical experience and everything that you're experiencing right now, okay, is showing you something that you don't like that needs to be changed, right? What are you going to do about it? You know that it needs to be changed because of the way that it makes you feel. Now that you know that the universe provides not only a solution, but a representation of what it is that you're meant to overcome. And that's all happening right now. Isn't that, you know, for some that may understand this, or for some who do understand this, or for the many who do understand this, this is a blessing. And it's also an opportunity for you to do something different and watch the universe turn the tides in your favor when you do. And supply you with everything that you need or want to get to the next level of what it is that you desire. You know what I'm saying? This is no false teaching. This is the universe at work. There are 12 simple laws that you can abide by to help you understand these things. And it's physics. You know what I'm saying? It's all math in a sense. It's all vibration. It's all frequency. It's alignment. We emit these things on a constant basis. Where do you think your psychic gifts come from? How do you receive messages? You know what I'm saying? Would you think God's not there too? You know what I'm saying? It was given to you by that. You know what I'm saying? That's what you're here for. To embrace and embody that very understanding and that very essence of life that you have been given by the Creator. Right? Because you have gifts. You're meant to help somehow. You're meant to serve in some way. Right? So service is also key. What can I do for humanity? What can I do for myself? Because it is one and the same. But I need to see myself first. And that's what all this energy is about. You're being shown a gift that looks like shit. And it only looks like shit because God's showing you what you think it looks like. And on the other side of that is the clarity and the truth. And it's almost like if you're willing to walk it, and if you're willing to talk it, then walk it. You know, if you're willing to embody and embrace it, then understand that you're going to take that path, right? Because you said yes to it. Because you agreed to it. And this is how we create accountability, right? But in a good way where we're not punching ourselves in the face because we made a fucking stupid mistake or somebody did some shit to us a long time ago. This is empowering us now. Nothing that we've ever done is in vain, right? As long as you have the ability to take the knowledge and the wisdom that you're giving and apply it through experience. And here we are. You know what I'm saying? The year of the horse, the year of the fire horse, the year of rebirth, the year of becoming. All right? The year of awakening for many. And it's not just, oh yeah, because the government's fucked up. And no, it's your enlightenment, your spiritual awakening, your time to change, your time to rise, your time to watch things fall or choose to fall yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the time to rise, fam. You know, this is about no bullshit. Let's go. Do something for yourself, because the energy supports it as long as you're aware that it is doing that. And it literally, you're aware that it is, because in the moment that you're intending it, it is giving you that very confirmation and acknowledgement by reciprocating the truth to you and showing you what it is. Salah, I hope you guys enjoyed this message today, man. And look, bro, you can't make this shit up. This is the Empress card. The Empress says what? Rebirth. Becoming. You know what I'm saying? No more impoverished mindset, bullshit, sorry foundation. I gotta move. I can't stand this place. Da 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 da. No, none of that. You are whole and full right where you are, and you are trusting the process in order to do so, to change those things, to create something out of nothing. And there it is. You know, right? I can keep going. This is the Chariot. This is only going to get better from here. It's only going to intensify. And tomorrow is the start of it. You know what I'm saying? Intensity's here, you know, and it's happening soon. You know, not too long from now, you guys are going to notice a quickening, a happening, a shift in some sort, in your minds and in the messages and or your feelings or your awareness. So be mindful of what happens here in the afternoon, because it's changing you too. You know, you can't make this shit up, fam. You got a lot of cups to fill, and they're all yours. But remember, they're all evenly full, and the ones that you don't need will be discarded anyway. So there's nothing that you won't pour into that you won't gain from, is what we just said. You know, and we want you to understand that, you know, because rising above the anxiety, the fear, emotions, and all these things, it's liberating, you know. When was the last time you challenged yourself to do anything that wasn't out of pride or ego? You know, when was the last time that you challenged yourself in a loving way? I could do better. I could do more. I got to remember that. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to be better. I want to do better. You know what I'm saying? When was the last time you asked yourself, do you want to do better? And how does that feel right now? You know what I'm saying? If there's something that's unequal or unequal in your life, then applying love to what is unequal will bring it to balance and equalize everything. As long as you're willing to understand that all these aspects of yourself, all these 8 cups get filled simultaneously with your awareness, but your imbalances will throw you off and cause you to drown in any of them, if not one of them. You know? And you can't make the shit up, dude, because when you're all up in your head, you can't really doing shit, are you? You know? And that's the beauty of the tree of knowledge and the tree of life. We have the ability to choose these things in our lives. And understanding how self-control over illusion allows us to navigate these things in a much more peaceful way and less chaotic than what we've been dealing with in the past. So, with that being said, if you'd like a reading today, I am doing mini Soul Counsel readings. I'm not putting a price on the reading. You guys can donate whatever and receive a reading, mini Soul Counsel today. If not, if you more like a one-on-one personal thing because you don't want it on live, we also have that service available on fourcornershealing37.com. You're more than welcome to engage in that space. It is nothing but energetic healing and informative, man. It's all the things a healer needs, you know what I'm saying? Especially when you're learning how to heal. So, you know, much love to each and every one of you. Thank you for being here. If this message resonates, you know, when I share it on YouTube, go check it out, give it a like, a follow, a share. I would greatly appreciate it. You know, show some support in that space if you could. You know, this will be on video, YouTube later on this evening, if not tomorrow in the morning. So If you have any questions about anything that we said here, if you need some elaboration, if there's some confusion, we'd be more than happy to clarify those things in your life right now, you know. Again, thank you for being here. You know, even if it resonates, go for it. You know what I'm saying? Express yourself, fam. You know, that's very liberating in itself, okay? When you understand that you have a voice too, and your voice matters, you know, then you start seeing what self-importance is all about, and the reciprocation of that self-importance, and how stability is created by understanding self-importance. You know what I'm saying? Because the more confident or the more comfortable you are with being who you are, regardless of how uncomfortable outside of yourself is, bro, people can't fuck with you, and it's very empowering. You know, but we also have to practice. That's really important. So, if you feel like you've reached your proper nourishment today, you know, I'm going to get up out of here, fam. If you'd like a reading, let me know right now. You can type done and how you donated in the chat. The link is in the bio, and I'll be more than happy to handle that before I get up out of here. Oh, look at that. I turned it all the way down. What kind of crap is that? Technology has been fucking the shit, lady, dude. Wow. It is just not functioning properly right now. Into another dimension. Well, I'm glad that you were grateful. Thank you for interacting in the chat. We really appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Well, fam, I'm going to get up out of here. Much love. Stay beautiful and blessed. Till next time. Peace.